If you saw my videos, you might have recognized I like to shoot with a tripod. It's easy, it's aesthetic most of the time, and you don't get a shaky look. Don't get me wrong, a shaky look can be very cool too, especially filming handheld is cool as well, of course. But we are like talking about a tripod today, how it is to film and how underrated it is actually. I feel like filming with a tripod is a great way to learn cinematography, especially when it comes to rules like the rule of thirds or like leading lines. It feels like the tripod is helping you to learn those rules and embrace them even more. These rules create a sense of depth in a way and look visually pleasing. What I like to do is to create framing, for example, a random door, or for example, like a very specific example, to be honest. In the capsule hotel I was staying a few months ago, and it just looks visually pleasing, and your subject, in case maybe you, I don't know, this depends what you're filming, is like more focused and it stands out from the crowd or like from the scenario, which is what you want like sometimes to do, of course. And I feel like those classic rules, we can embrace them with the tripod, because you take your time with your shots, you really craft your picture there. And this is also what I like about tripod and static shots. It just feels like you take your time without any pressure, and you really check out your surroundings. What else can I like put in my picture? Maybe moving subject like yourself, and maybe a car, or like maybe a crowd. Change the complete scene. Like the vibe is completely different. Maybe it tells like more kind of a story, especially when people are like in front of your lens. It creates so much more story compared to like a shot from a house or like from a city, like without people. It's a completely different vibe. But sometimes like using a different angle, especially when you're doing like a movie or something, maybe from beneath or like maybe the frog perspective, it works sometimes. It's just, you need to like create your own mood and style for that. I love to have symmetrical shots. It just feels nice to take that shot, and you know, it's one of the best feelings when you realize, okay, this shot is a banger. And I really love this. And I don't know, it's just symmetrical shots, just feels good. It just feels good, guys. And aesthetic, I guess. What I heard in the past, especially when I was studying, that the location is super necessary to create a cinematic look, which is not 100% true, I think. Because, okay, don't get me wrong, locations are important too. They can like create your everything, your scene in a sequence. But if you know how to follow these rules, the rule of thirds, leading lines, framing, or maybe breaking them, can very much make a difference as well, and you don't need a super crazy expensive location. I feel like everything can look cinematic, even a simple street lamp. Just if you compose it very right, when your subject is standing out, for example, it sets up your whole mood. You don't need the craziest location. We just talked about all aesthetic shots, like cool cinematic framing, leading lines, you know. And sometimes using this tripod in a different way can also like very much create a very cool effect. I don't know if you heard about this, but maybe SnorriCam is like a term you heard of. I saw it like so many times on social media platforms, and even movies, Requiem for a Dream or like Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets use this technique. It's a very cool shot to use, and there are crazy constructions where I was like, okay, this looks super crazy. We can do one of these shots with the tripod, which is cool. And you only need 2 pals for that. It's pretty low budget, don't get me wrong. It looks kind of weird, but believe me, it works. But I don't recommend it 100%. It's not the most stable thing, but it worked for me. But take care if you want to use this. Like, I was using this technique and was walking around the streets here, and it looked cool. And it's got this like you feel like very much like the character. It's authentic, immersive. This was like a very interesting experience as well, because people were like watching me a lot. But it was kind of quite funny, because I had some wholesome interactions with some people, and they were like talking to me and were like, oh yeah, okay, what are you doing? Are you filming, taking a picture? I don't know, stuff like that. You really get the attention. What else is pretty cool to do is to experiment with long exposure. It's like pretty everywhere. And to use this technique with the SnorriCam with long exposure can be like a very cool narrative as well in your movie, when you like, maybe, I don't know, someone is drunk, or like maybe on drugs or like in emotionally pain, you know what I mean. I feel like a tripod is having a lot to create cinematic pictures. It's cheap. You don't need like the craziest tripod. I just got one for like 60-70 bucks for a few years ago and it still works. Especially if you film yourself, it helps you a lot. But even if you don't have like a tripod, there's ways to get like cool shots as well if you use your surroundings. I thought when I began with filmmaking, okay, everything needs to be in slow motion, everything needs, there needs to be a transition in every cut. There needs to be, I don't know, movement. And my old videos, you very much see this. I was very much into travel videos back then, but now I still like them, but it's not too much traveling anymore. I feel like my style developed in a different way. I developed more like a calm style, like aesthetic, and take my time to redo shots. And yeah, it just looks more aesthetic to me. And transitions are like very cool too when you use it like wisely. Especially times with TikTok and stuff, there's like a lot going on. But I feel like sometimes a little bit calm aesthetic look can work as well. Yeah, and yeah, embrace it. Use your tripod that you can create great pictures, even though you don't need a crazy location. This video is a little bit all over the place. I just feel like a tripod is helping you a lot. It's cheap, completely underrated, and yeah, film more with your tripod. Alright, that's it. That's my take about the tripod. I hope you liked this video. Thank you very, very much for this crazy support. How to easily film yourself video got like 50,000 views, and I'm like, what? That's crazy. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see us soon. Bye.